Hi everyone, welcome back to the Big Brain Academy YouTube channel. Today is our second lesson of the week, and our topic for today is adverbs for the big brain. So let's get started. First, we have basic parts of speech. Now it is important to know what a verb is because a verb is a key component into figuring out what an adverb is. So first we have a verb, which is a word to express an action, occurrence, or state of being. Now, let's look into what an adverb is. An adverb is a word that describes how an action is carried out and can add extra detail to a verb, adjective, or another adverb. Now that we know what an adverb is and what a verb is, we should look into where to place adverbs. First, we have at the beginning of the sentence, such as sometimes he wishes it was hotter. The adverb here is sometimes, and the verb it's describing is wishes. Next, we have in front of the verb, such as she always has a change of clothes in her locker. The adverb here is always, and it is describing the verb has. Next, we have at the end of a sentence, such as he burned himself badly. The adverb here is badly, which is describing the verb burnt. And then we have after the verb, which is she ran faster than normal. The adverb here is faster, and the verb it's describing is ran. Now, let's look into the different types of adverbs, and we have 4 types of adverbs. The first one being an adverb of manner, the second one being an adverb of degree, the third one being an adverb of place, and the fourth one being an adverb of time. Now, let's look into the deeper definitions of all of these adverbs. First, we have an adverb of manner, which is basically telling us how an action happened. Now, some common examples of this are they ran quickly. The adverb here is quickly and the verb here is ran, and we can see that the adverb quickly is describing how they ran. Next, we have he jumped lightly. The adverb lightly is describing how this boy jumped. It is describing its action. Next we have she talked softly. The adverb softly is telling us how she performed the action of talking. Next we have an adverb of degree. Now an adverb of degree is describing to what extent an event happened. Some examples of this are very, partially, completely, almost. For example, it was very sunny. It is describing to what extent it was sunny. Next, we have work. She partially completed her work. She completely finished her work. She almost finished her work. These are all describing how much of an event she has completed. Next, we have an adverb of place. An adverb of place is describing where an action happened. Now, common examples of this are inside, outside, downstairs, behind, here, there, and upstairs. We can use these in sentences like, he ate inside. It is describing where the action of eating happened, inside. Then we have hiking. She hiked outside. This is describing where the action of hiking took place, which was outside. Lastly, we have adverbs of time. Adverbs of time tell us when something happens and how long it lasts for and how often it happens. For examples, we have always, now, sometimes, tomorrow, today, later, eventually. We can use these in sentences like, they were always happy. It is describing how often these kids are happy. Or we can use she walks later. It is telling us when this event of walking will happen. Now, let's look into how to identify adverbs in a sentence. First, we can ask ourselves the question, when, how long? And some common answers to this question are tomorrow, eventually, all day. We can ask ourselves the question, how often? Some common examples are never, rarely, always, usually, sometimes, often. Third is where. Some examples of this are everywhere, downstairs, inside, left, right. Our fourth is how, which can be fast, slow, terrible, well. And our fifth is how much, to what extent. And those are fast, slow, terrible, well. Now I have given you some examples, but these are not the only adverbs that you can find in a sentence. So just stick to asking yourselves these questions, and whichever words seem like the answer to them is your adverb. Now, let's look into some examples and identify adverbs in these sentences. First we have, he is rarely wandering the streets. The adverb here is rarely and the streets, and the verb it is describing is wandering. Now the adverb rarely answers the question how often, and the adverb the streets answers where. Yesterday I saw a dog happily wag his tail. The adverb here yesterday answers the question when, and the adverb happily answers the question how. Then we have she completely finished her homework. Then we have the adverb completely answers the question to what extent. Then we have she cried often, and the adverb often answers the question of how often. Now, that's it for today, and thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you all next week. Bye!